want to share with you tonight
come from our new creative project, and we're so pleased that we get to share the first glimpse here with you. I wasn't going to call you vaginas. At the Vagina Conversations.
It's a poetry and circus collaboration that we've been creating in amongst parenting my 7-month-year-old daughter, 3.5-year-old son,
and my 2.5-year-old daughter.
Wow. The 3 stories that we're going to share with you tonight are our experiences of birth, similar to the 3 stages of labour.
First comes the preparation for birthing, then the delivery, and afterwards, processing it all.
So no matter how our babies come, whether it's through a vaginal birth, like mine,
or emergency C-section, like mine, these are always hugely complex transitions, and they change us.
So we welcome you to the birth suite.
Consider the miracle of birth. A hole the size of a 20-cent piece that admits something 10 times its girth. No one knows how it fits through our tight lady bits when Googling for all that we're worth. As you picture the tearing, the stretching, the swearing, a logical panic ensues. But I know that mine will be perfectly fine. My vagina is fucking huge. In birth class they teach us natural is best, and I'm always a straight A student. So I learn affirmations and visualizations for A-grade vaginal improvements. They say words have the power to shape our reality. I'm hoping my words shape a massive new cavity. As I plaster my walls with gargantuan fannies and visualize badges you could drive a truck through. I meditate and I pray, I repeat 10 times a day, my vagina is fucking huge. Now in the birth suite, midwife keys in with a frown, and her words come back out with an echoey sound. This one is the roomiest I've ever seen. The doctor leans forward, trips and falls in. She pulls him out dripping and looking confused as he meekly confirms, ma'am, in medical terms, your vagina is fucking huge. Yes, it's enormous, it's immense. It's a megalomaniac's flapping wet tent. Maybe you've got a rosebud or a sweet lady garden. Mine's like a fucking autobahn. Ladies whizzing down it like they're in the Grand Prix. It runs on high-octane hyperbole. It's a ski slope, a racetrack, an Olympian luge. Fucking hell, this vagina is huge. But it's only as big as it needs to be and reaches from here to eternity. Carries new souls into uterine seas, escorting humans from nothing to being. All our hopes for the future, our fears and our love, the vagina delivers them all. And it must have been this that men feared when they told us vaginas are supposed to stay small. But celebrating size and boasting of bigness was never exclusive to those with a penis. So it's time to reclaim. Will you join us and say, our vaginas are fucking huge! I did not give birth to my daughter. I laboured for 2 days, 3 long nights. She was trapped in the tight bindings of my body. A doctor cut through to release her. Maybe that doctor gave birth to my daughter. Dozens of people climbed from their beds in dim night, converged on the fluorescent beacon of the hospital to invite my baby into that white air. Maybe they all gave birth to my daughter. surrendered to the table, made a kind of peace. Lines ran into my outstretched arms, and a blue curtain dismembered the lower half of my senses, while the scalpel gave birth to my daughter. My baby's heart was steady as a drum until she rose up, stunned, through that surprising doorway, like she just gave birth to herself when I could not. All I gave were these inadequate thanks. But later, I could not stop chasing the story of myself. I found its roots in the story of Asclepius, when he was extracted from my body, a myth that gave birth to my daughter. I found my earliest human form in 1580. My husband took a knife to me. The husband was a pig farmer. I lived for a week. Even after the invention of anesthetic, they sometimes refused to use it because God said woman must suffer to bring forth children. I found a woman upon whose body history has carved 1,000 notches to remember every incremental breakthrough. She was supine in stone and in bas-relief and in charcoal drawings, always lifeless and naked, with all her secrets spilled out on the ground. Turned my stomach to look at her, but I had to. It was she, and her endless stillness, who gave birth to my daughter. And they lay my baby down beside me. Her tiny nose presses my cheek. Her eyes seek me out, like she has given birth to me. So, some people like their country neat. The lawn's all shorn and trim, with cultivated entryways, just like you see on screen. Before they lay their picnic out, they raise her shape and size. So I've heard, but I don't get it. What's what looks otherwise? I love an untamed country in every rainbow blush of asymmetric foldings and rampant Aussie bush. A land of mounds and crevices and oil-secreting plains and wonky little bobbly bits. My country knows no shame. My country used to teem with lust, the fruit all ripe to pluck. Now look upon this bone-dry field. Behold, it grows no fucks. A land so inhospitable, it ruins those who dare. And since becoming motherland, you must not venture there. Now the drought-spurned womb she rumbles. I feel the bloating pains, the savage clouds come gathering, and then the blood-red rains. And as it drenches underwear and floods the levee walls, it speaks of how my baby grew, in crimson glow enthralled. These lands I readied for the birth, I tenderly tilled each day, in the hope she'd open in full bloom, but my baby chose another way. Now I love a birthless country of joy and secret grief, rapture, love and solitude, a place to heal in peace. So when time comes for sunset in this willful, lavish land, I'll thank her wisdom dark and deep that I'll never understand. And I have not always loved her or her fathomless intent, for she never bore what I desired, but only what she meant.